Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining the webinar. We've got a good amount of people filed in, so we're going to go ahead and start. People can join as they need to, but yeah, I'll give it away to Camilla to introduce ourselves. So before I do that, just to give you a general layout, Joe is going to do an amazing presentation on the University of Toledo and everything that they have to offer. And then once he's done with that, I'll open it up and anyone can ask any questions at that point. So please hold questions till the end.
Hi guys, good morning, bom dia. My name is Camila. For the ones that don't know me, I am the Wellspring rep here in Brazil and for Latin America as well. I'll put my contact information in the end in case you don't have that. But we have here Joe with us that is going to explain a little bit more, is going to talk a little bit more about our new partner, that's the University of Toledo, that has some good options with a great cost value for students. So if you guys have any questions, you can always put on the chat box, or in the end, you can unmute yourselves and just make any questions that you have. Thanks, Joe, for being here. If you want to introduce yourself, please, you can go ahead.
All right, great. Thank you, everybody. Good morning again. My name is Joe, and I am the Assistant Director with the International Undergraduate Admission Office with the University of Toledo. So I appreciate everybody who is on the webinar today. What I'll do is just spend a few minutes, kind of an overview of the university. Then we'll get into some specific academic colleges and talk about the opportunities and benefits for some of the majors that we're seeing a lot of our international students choose the University of Toledo. We'll talk about some support systems in place. We'll talk about our scholarship levels. And then, as mentioned, if there's any questions, we can certainly take care of those at the end. So the University of Toledo itself is considered a mid-sized university. We are located in the state of Ohio, which is considered a Midwest state. You'll see some graphics on the screen in front of you. What we're really proud of the fact is that we have over 80 countries represented currently on campus. So we feel that we're a very open and diverse community for our international student populations. We have a very solid incoming grade point average with over a 3.56 on a 4-point US grading scale. In regards to our academic programs, we offer 120 different undergraduate and over 130 graduate level programs that our international students can choose from. Moving on, in regards to what the University of Toledo is all about, we are considered a STEM university, so concentrating in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, but we do offer other programs of study related to health. We have our own College of Nursing. We have our own College of Business, individuals that are interested in getting into a teaching profession through our College of Education. And then those students that may be looking for more of a general concentration, we do offer programs in arts and humanities. As mentioned, we are considered a public university. We do have our own research hospital through the University of Toledo Medical College. So that allows a lot of our students in an allied health or health service program be able to then work and gain that experience on our hospital grounds. So as mentioned before, Toledo is considered a Midwest state. On the map in front of you, you'll see some various maybe larger cities that you may be more familiar with. A lot of students may be more familiar with some of these larger cities, but what the advantage is in regards to the opportunities that we have is the internship and the co-op programs that are built into our business and our engineering majors. So a lot of students may be familiar with Detroit, Michigan, which is only an hour away, or maybe familiar with Chicago, Illinois, which is roughly a 4-hour drive away. So what happens is students are able to choose specific areas to gain those internship and those co-op experiences while they are maintaining their coursework through their plan of study. What's unique about the University of Toledo, again, is the fact with the co-ops and internships. As mentioned, you'll see some various logos from some of the companies that we work with in regards to our engineering students as well as our business students. So this is always helpful as you may be speaking with students that are interested in an engineering company. We get a lot of interest for specific companies that students see themselves working for. So this gives an opportunity for us to have great conversations with those students looking for that work opportunity as they are actually studying with the University of Toledo. So the College of Engineering is our most popular academic college for our international students because of the fact that within the program itself, for all of our engineering science students, there is 3 semesters of built-in co-op that is mandatory for graduation. What's really nice about this and the way that it's set up is the fact that because it's mandated for graduation, our international students are eligible for the work experience as well as a living wage. As we know, under F1 student rules, students have limited opportunity to work on campus part-time underneath a regulation. But because of the fact that this is built into the program, a lot of our international students and our parents and families love the idea of getting that paid wage. So you'll just see some statistics in regards to a USD salary range based off of the areas that we offer for our students and the opportunities for those co-ops. Within the program itself, we have what is called engineering expos, and that allows our students to meet with those engineering firms and companies to gather more information about their decision on where they want that work experience. For the I-20 process, we do note for all of our engineering science students that they will have 3 semesters of co-op experience, and they would average roughly 10,000 USD per semester. So that certainly helps our international students show strength and support for their education abroad. The second most popular academic college for our international student population is our College of Business. So as you see on the actual screen, we do have some great opportunities for students to select a focus of study. The University of Toledo 2021 was named one of the best business schools based off of 2 things. Number 1, the number of options that students have with programs of study, as well as internship opportunities. So you see on the screen, roughly 85% of all of our students have an opportunity and have participated in an internship option. Internships are a little bit different than the co-op experience. Internships could be paid. Internships could not be paid. Different than the co-ops, generally internships could be offered partially through the semester. So again, with the business internship, students are eligible for that opportunity. It's not required for graduation, but it is strongly encouraged. That way those students have the opportunity, whether they're in accounting, whether they're in marketing, whether they're in professional sales, to ensure they see themselves in that career as they are going through their transition from semester to semester with their pathway of study. Third area that we talk about as far as popularity of our international students is our College of Natural Science and Mathematics. So when we talk about engineering, we talk about co-ops. When we talk about business, we talk about internships. For our natural science and mathematics students, research is the key area that we want to focus on. A majority of our students in a biology, chemistry, biochem opportunities will have some opportunities working on research projects with faculty mentors, as well as potential working with our graduate level students. We recently added a new program highlighted in yellow for data science. So individuals that are interested in this program have 3 concentration areas that they can choose from, and research would be available for that. Individuals that may be interested in studying medicine or dentistry or veterinarian medicine, a lot of our students will choose a biology, chemistry, or biochemistry platform for study, and then add on the pre-professional program for those students that may be looking at medical school, dental school, or veterinarian school. So we will work with those students if they're interested in that as add-ons as they arrive and start their courses at the University of Toledo. Third area that we're seeing a large focus and interested in is through our College of Arts and Letters. So as I mentioned earlier, we are most known for our STEM programs, but we are now getting a large interest in our international students, interested in economics, interested in one of our interdisciplinary studies, specifically Asian studies, law and social thought. Women and gender studies are 3 areas that we see students in those independent study areas. We do have a College of Performing Arts, so those students that are interested in singing, performing, acting, actress, students that are interested in those disciplines. We are connected with our local Toledo Museum of Art, which allows our students to be able to connect with the local museum to be able to show their hard work and dedication based off of that performing art for function. So in regards to the highlighted economics, economics has recently been termed STEM. So there are some work benefits for students after graduation to be able to work up to 3 years in the US as a economics graduate. Nursing, always based off of what's been happening with COVID, we're seeing a large influx of students interested in getting into the nursing field. So we do offer our College of Nursing as an option. It's considered a 2-year plus 2-year program where students would complete their first 2 years of lower level math and science courses. And based off of their University of Toledo grade point average, will be selected then for their clinical and or practice part of their program, which would be the balance of the 2 years as they gain that practical experience. As mentioned before, benefits of having our own hospital connected with the University of Toledo offers our nursing students opportunities to gain that experience at the hospital grounds, as well as the areas of labs that we have on our main campus. So we do offer support with our students that are interested in a graduate study program. So our office works with the undergraduate international students, but as we travel and as we meet different individuals and families and parents, we do offer the support for the graduate level options that the University of Toledo does offer. As I mentioned, over 130 different options for our graduate programs. The other thing that we want to mention is we do offer a English language program called American Language Institute. So you may come across students that may need a little bit more help in an area of English language. So we do offer that as a benefit for those students that may be interested in building their skills in the areas for English language. Just wanted to bring that up in case you would come across students or families that may feel that they need that extra help with the English language skills. So we talk a lot about programs. We talk a lot about the benefits of the programs, the majors, the work experience, but we always want to make sure that we focus and share the information about the academic support. So the way that it works with the University of Toledo, obviously my role along with some other staff member here is we'll work with the admission process with the Wellspring group, making sure that we have the documents, the test scores to offer the admission. A second level of support would be the academic advisors. So if they decide to attend the University of Toledo, they will meet with their advisors to make sure that they're taking the classes in the specific order, making sure that you're graduating on time, the internship, research, and co-op experience, making sure that they have a good pathway of study to make sure that they're maintaining that balance. What makes the University of Toledo a little bit unique is the fact that we have what is called a success coach. And a success coach simply bridges the gap between inside and outside of class. So if a student is struggling and may need help with tutoring, if they are struggling in writing a term paper, the success coach will match and connect the student with those outside resources. A lot of our students come to the US for the first time, not familiar with the area, not familiar with connecting with others from their region and home country. So our success coach works really well with our international student associations to make sure that they connect our new students to our current students, to make sure that they can share a familiar language, making sure that they can share a familiar meal, just because we know that homesickness is definitely there for our new students who arrive to the United States. We do have a disability service office, so students that may need extra time in regards to a disability, we do have the support on campus for those students. And then just being accessible to our faculty, having open office hours, being available before and after class, making sure that our students feel that they're getting the information needed from our faculty. Now, we do offer support within the international section for our students. So our Office of International Student and Scholar Services will be our main support for students as they arrive. They'll work with students on making sure that they have the proper documentation, making sure they have signatures if they're planning on going back home during their course of study, making sure that they're being set up and creating a bank account for payment of tuition. They make sure that they connect with our international association groups, making sure that they're being connected with other groups such as sports related groups or academic or religious. So we want to make sure that our students stay involved and make sure that they know where to go if they have specific questions as an international student at the University of Toledo. So learning by doing is something that you'll hear us say quite a bit in regards to taking what you learn in class and applying it to the co-ops, the internships, and the research opportunities. But the University of Toledo is really, really involved with our local community. Right now, we have over 400 student organizations and groups that students can get involved with. We try to promote that, yes, grades are important, studying is very important, but we want to make sure that we create a balance. We suggest that all of our students, whether internationally or domestic, get involved with at least one student organization to find that balance. Students tend to stay in school longer and their grades are better because of the fact that they're enjoying their studying, because they also have things that are balancing themselves inside as well as outside of the classroom. So just a couple photos that we have in regards to the benefits. We have our own student recreation center on campus. Students can be a part of different athletic groups and clubs. You'll see on the bottom left of the screen, this is our cricket team, and they are very, very good. They compete very well against other cricket clubs that are associated with other four-year universities. We have our Toledo Museum, which I mentioned earlier. We have a world-renowned Toledo Zoo. So we have a lot of things on campus as well as off campus to make sure that our students stay active and feel a part of the Toledo community. So as we mentioned before, just getting involved with what the city of Toledo is about. Toledo is considered the glass city. One of the manufacturers of glass, Libby, is headquartered here in Toledo, Ohio. So again, we will make sure that our students have an opportunity to go to different events on campus as well as off campus. You'll see the middle bottom picture. That's actually part of our downtown landscape. We are very close to a river where students have an opportunity to be able to get onto boats and be a part of the community in regards to just some fun things off campus. So in regards to the tuition and the fee breakdown, you'll see this on the next screen. We do have a 2-year living requirement for those students that are coming to us as freshmen. So you'll see a on-campus living expense. Those students that are coming to us as students that have been out of school for 2 years or have completed coursework at a community college and or university abroad or here in the US. There are different living requirements that we have on campus, but the tuition amounts, the fee amount, and the health insurance will relatively be the same based off of a student's major and or program. So we work with our students for medical insurance options. We work with students for their on-campus accommodations. We work with those students that are able to live off campus in regards to listings for apartments, hostels, and dwellings that students can look at for their living experience while they're attending the University of Toledo. So in regards to the general admission requirements, you'll see the breakdown on the screen for the English language test scores. IELTS and TOEFL are our most popular two. Duolingo we added on due to COVID. We decided at the office level to continue using Duolingo, even though that the COVID has improved around the globe. So you'll see very many options for the English language test scores. Bank statement, passport would be needed for the I-20 process, so it's not required for graduation. And we always want to make sure that our partners know that for ACT or SAT, the only programs that are needed for those are our engineering majors. So if a student's interested in engineering, our College of Engineering will look at the math subscore based off of engineering science and or engineering technology students. If a student doesn't have ACT, SAT, we have our own math placement test called ALEX that will allow students to be able to meet the requirements for engineering. If a student's interested in business or a natural science and mathematics, education, pharmacy, whatnot, they don't require the math subscore, only for English language. So as you are talking to your students, we want to make sure that our partners are aware that the math scores are only for our students for the College of Engineering. So on the next screen, you'll see the levels of scholarship that we offer based off of a student's converted grade point average. We were really excited the middle of last year where we were able to offer our first-time international freshman students a higher tuition award. So those students that come to us with a 3.5 on a 4-point US grading scale would be eligible for a 9,160 USD tuition award scholarship. What that would simply mean is they would be paying close to what they would be as a US citizen from the state of Ohio. In-state tuition versus out-of-state surcharge. Our out-of-state surcharge would be 9,360 per year. So they would be getting a great discount where they'd be paying 200 USD per year towards that out-of-state surcharge. For students who have a 3.5 or higher, who may be coming to us as a transfer student, they would have an award of 8,500 USD. And then those students coming to us as freshmen and or transfer who have a 3.0 to a 3.49 GPA on a 4-point scale, they would be awarded a $7,500 scholarship. Now, these are merit-based scholarships. We only base that off of a student's marks and or grades. Students are able to apply to academic scholarship. So if a student's an engineering student, they can apply during the open application timeframe to apply for additional scholarships. So these scholarships are directly from our admission office, but we work with students to help in applying for other scholarships that could help support their tuition and or fees as they are transitioning from one year to another. One thing we want to just kind of highlight with a lot of the partners that we work with, for those students that you're working with that are still in high school, that will be graduating 2023, they have the option of the Common App or using our University of Toledo application. If you're working with a student who is a GAP student or transferring, we suggest students using our Toledo application. It just makes the processing easier on our end based off of students that may not be current students in high school using the Common App. So as we start working, more closely with the partners in geographic areas around the globe, we'll definitely work together and making sure that we're getting the appropriate documents. And a lot of times, everybody's doing a great job. It's just sometimes with the engineering major, with the math, sometimes that could be overlooked. So we'll just make sure that we'll work with you individually or as groups to make sure that we get those documents to be able to offer a quick and timely admission decision for your students. So that completes my presentation. So if there are any questions, we can certainly take care of those before we break for today. So Darby, I'm not sure if you're going to be taking over for the rest of the presentation time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let everyone into the room so you guys can unmute and ask any questions. And yeah, just go ahead and ask anything you need to.
Well, I have a couple of questions that I got from WhatsApp from some agents. The first one is if they need the English support and they need to do the English ESL prior to beginning their major at the university, are they conditionally admitted to the university, or they need to do a separate application after getting the English level?
Yeah, so what will happen is students would apply for the English language program, and then we would ask for the educational documents to make sure that they meet the requirements for the undergraduate major. So what we do at the University of Toledo is on the I-20, the I-20 will be for the English language program, but in the notes on the I-20, we will note that the student meets the requirement for said major. That way, when they go for the visa interview, the visa official knows that there is a plan of study after completing the language program.
Okay. I think Carmen has questions about IB diplomas being accepted.
Yeah, we certainly look at IB. We look at Cambridge A levels. So we work with a large variety of different platforms outside of the traditional pathway of study per country. So yes, so we have Miss Peggy, who works in our office. She's been with the University of Toledo for 40 years. And there's probably not a transcript that she hasn't seen as her time with the University of Toledo. So yeah, so we work with IB, A levels, standard courses. We work with a lot of advanced placement options as well for those schools that may offer that may have a connection with US or English curriculum.
Okay. These were the ones that I had here.
Okay.
If you guys have any other questions, let's give everyone like a minute if you want to ask now. But I want to thank you, Joe, for being here with us and talking a little bit more about Toledo. I think it's great options for students. You guys saw about the price point, living expenses, and the scholarship. So if you guys have any questions about these prices or how much is going to cost final price for the student with a specific GPA, you can always send me a message as well. And we are here to support you. So thanks, Joe, for being here with us.
No problem at all. I appreciate the opportunity, and we're here as a group. So definitely we want to make sure that the transition is smooth with us as a new partner. And everybody's been great that I've met with Wellsprings out and about. So happy to be part of this this morning. And you'll be meeting Victor and Sarah with future presentations. So just want to thank you for the opportunity to have me share more about the University of Toledo.
Awesome. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good rest of your day, everyone.